Alright guys, this is going to be another long episode. It's been 2 weeks since the last one, mainly because last week we didn't have our regular Wednesday training, so it was a bit, didn't do it on Monday, so there's a lot to sort of try and remember. Plus we'll do a review of the event that happened. So we'll start a lot of sort of chain wrestling, a lot of learning a few new moves. I can't remember exactly what we've sort of learned in the interim, but one of the things that we have done, monkey flips, which are a very much luchador move, and really working on those sorts of, even as a bigger wrestler, that I was still going to be able to do. Finding those moves not as challenging as I thought as they would be, but definitely something enjoyable. I think I covered the fact that we did back body drops. Again, working more in-ring now, just finishing the lesson where again we had in-ring work with taking bumps and coming off the ropes, and a lot going forward with that. Also did a new sort of roll, and that was the dragon, I believe it's the dragon roll or the dragon salt. It's a more sort of long range roll, and also taking a more elevated bump. We're used to sort of just the standing bump, but the bump that we did today in the ring was from a much higher place, and getting that elevation, so it's really like you are seriously looking like you're airborne before you hit the ground, and that was good. Also about sort of in the lead up to the event last week, it was a lot working with the advanced guys and things like that, and they're really good. They like for guys that have been doing it a lot longer, they don't complain about doing it with the beginners, which makes it a lot better in terms of an atmosphere. I got notified that the microphone, on a completely side issue, arrived in Israel, so we'll obviously have that for hopefully the live recording of the WrestleMania live reactions. I don't know how much you guys watched of the reactions video for the Royal Rumble, but it turned out really well. It could have been slightly better, I think, with the volume and also maybe if there was a slightly better camera, but again, there's nothing we can do about that. Aside from that, a lot of working on the chain wrestling, again, going from one move to another. Still haven't worked on breakpoint submissions, so still working on that. I mean, we had a few of them put on us just by the advanced guys in the course, but takedowns again from the waist lock, single leg takedown as well, we worked more on in the time that I haven't recorded an episode. So that's really on what's been going on in terms of training. The other side of that was also the fact that we had last week, we didn't have training on Wednesday because we had the event on Tuesday, the Valentine's event, and again it was a lot more knowing what was going on. Last time sort of was kept very in the dark about what was happening during the event, and I mean, not that I didn't know any of the results beforehand. I didn't particularly want to know, but at least in terms of going to the show, like in the sort of time beforehand, it was much more of a communal atmosphere. I wasn't someone just sitting on the side. This time I knew the guys that were going to be there, like I'd spoken to them before. They're also really welcoming, obviously, for anybody that was there. So for instance, Michael, there was also that spot that we had pre-prepared, and seeing that practicing that beforehand and understanding the sort of culture of when you're in the ring, this is how you behave, this is how you go about doing what you do, and working with both the two of, in terms of the guys that, I mean, not that I think there's anyone particularly bad in that's working for the IWL, but in terms of guys that are stand up on their professionalism, that are amongst the top of the guys in the IWL. Kurbis and Max Havoc are two of the coolest people that they have. I mean, they're not just gimmick wrestlers. They're guys that take themselves very seriously in what they do, and getting a chance to work with them, just in specifically watching how they prepare in that spot. They're obviously guys that have also known each other for a bit of time at least, because of the way that I found they worked really, really well together. And a lot of what I've been listening to actually since that as well has been a lot about how the WWE combines its sort of work in the house shows to its television work. And just as an example, sort of the Braun Strowman versus Big Show match that was on Raw, they spoke about how they tried a lot of different things in the WWE's house shows, and how that preparation would have made that match on television just so much better, because of the fact that they'd worked together already for a couple of months. It's just that ability to build chemistry between the two wrestlers is incredibly important, and it affects how it comes out in the match. I don't know why that was so much better than so many of the other matches, because ideally they've also been tried out in house shows. But certainly, I mean, the things that those guys are able to do as big men is just ridiculous. But going back, having that spot, knowing that was going to happen, was like really cool, and it was something to look forward to in the show. And they're now seriously talking about an Academy show coming up. Again, no details are released, but definitely would be amazing fun to be a part of. I do go back and forth between whether I want to be... Like, I definitely decided I want to wrestle now, but there was a short period of time where it was like, this was something that I was doing for fun, and not something that I was taking serious enough to actually go and perform it. But after seeing now 2 shows, knowing the level and knowing where I am at now, I know I'm not ready yet. I know it's still going to take me a while before I can get ready, but I want to get to that level, and I want to take this serious enough to be someone that can perform. And yeah, that's been sort of the tale of the last 2 weeks. The next show is April 6th. It's going to have an outside guest, so I think that's going to be pretty interesting. I'm guessing there's going to be a seminar that we'll have with him, and they've already sort of spoken about doing that, and that'll be an interesting experience. Someone that's done it professionally in the States, someone that's his life. He's done that. Will be pretty cool. It would definitely be something to look at. Looking forward to that event, because it's going to be massive. And look, it's all looking like it's getting ready for big shows and getting more and more advanced, and eventually, who knows, one day in the ring, maybe a couple of years down the track, the next DDP at WrestleMania, just doing whatever. I think that's a bit far off. I don't see myself joining the WWE, but who knows what will happen. And for the moment, it's fun and I'm enjoying it, and I wouldn't mind continuing to do it. So that's it. Again, back to our regular 2-a-week trainings next week, and from then on probably until the next event. So obviously this is going to go back to being a weekly thing. Outside of that, who knows what's going to happen. And I guess the next thing after that in terms of special events will be the WrestleMania show, and that'll be it. Alright guys, this is another episode, and a very long one at that, but it's time to finish.